Welcome to another episode of last week's Comics Today. I'm actually shooting ahead of time. This is still going to wind up going up on Tuesday, but I'm actually shooting on Friday. Look at me, being responsible, doing things early. So, it's a pretty small week, but there are some great comics in here. Let's get started. And we're going to start with Do a Powerbomb. This is issue 1 of what is clearly a wrestling comic. This is by Daniel Warren Johnson, whom I love. There will be another one of his issues in here later, but I've been a fan of his. I don't remember. I'll have to figure out where I first became a fan of his, but I've been following his work through Independence and The Big Two for a number of years. So when this came out, I signed up for it immediately. Essentially, it is a wrestling comic. There is a supernatural element that will come into play in future issues, but let me show you some of this art. So, here. That's great, but there are wrestling moves. Look at this sequence. So, got my music already. Great. Alright. I love this. So, it's a wrestling comic by Daniel Warren Johnson. Fantastic writer, amazing artist. I don't think I have anything else to say. I could certainly say more. I could spoil things that happen within this issue, and I'm choosing not to. I'm saying you should get this book based on the strength of wrestling and Daniel Warren Johnson. Really just Daniel Warren Johnson. I would get whatever he decides to do. There was a story I heard a couple of years ago that he was going to do a baseball comic, and I'm like, sure. I actively hate baseball, but I'm like, sure, I'm there. So, wrestling. I love it. So, A Calculated Man, this is another issue 1. Alberto Albuquerque, I'm sort of familiar with, more so with Raphael Albuquerque. But Paul Tobin, I know I've read some of his stuff, and I can't remember any of it. So these two names I was familiar with, really, by appearance, but really not their work. I grabbed it anyway because it's a crime story, and it was, again, recommended by someone that works at the comic shop, so I decided to grab it, and I enjoyed it, thankfully. So I will say that the art does bug me a little bit. Like, look at the size of this guy's head. His head is massive. And there are, it's... some of it is hair. Like, the head appears more regularly sized here, but, some of the heads are just huge. It's not just that guy. Like, even this head compared to shoulders is... I don't know. Anyway, the art is otherwise good, despite the disproportionately sized heads a little bit. But it is a crime story at its heart. There is this guy, Jack. He sees everything. He sees the world, I guess, mathematically. They talk about him in here. So he was working for a crime family. He turned on them. He's now in witness protection. And some members of the crime family that he turned on have found him, and he is executing a plan to try to save himself. It's basically what's happening here. And it is very well done. The art is nice, despite what I was just saying about head size, and I think I'm going to be adding this to my pull list. I want to see where this goes. It's very interesting. At the end here, so at one point within the comic, he makes a comment that he has a girlfriend that he has only talked to online, not that in person. And then at the very end, we get all of these chats. And these are very funny. But most of these start and end. But some of them do continue on. And at the very end here is, P.S. I'm your girlfriend now. Have fun murdering people. I find it funny. So, I enjoyed this. I hope you give it a try. It's very good. Farmhand 18, I just want to start off by saying this is issue 3 of 5 as far as this arc goes. I do remember this issue, I think was, the series really was supposed to run until, I believe, issue 30, and then that got cut short. So things are leading to I think it might now be 24 or 26 issues. Things are ultimately coming to a head, very much so, and this is only the middle of the non-final arc. So a lot is happening in here, and it continues to be excellent. I show some of this art off each time, but here we go. Here's some more. Rob Guillory is fantastic. Here is the work of his son as well. I'm throwing son verbally in air quotes, but his son is making a comic. It's pretty funny. This series is fantastic. I love it. I very much look forward to reading the conclusion, even though it will make me sad that it means Farmhand is no longer coming out, but then I will buy whatever Rob Guillory does next, which I hope he sticks with comics. Not everyone does. In comics, there seems to be a certain churn, especially regarding artists. Cycle in, cycle out. Fingers crossed we get more from Rob Guillory once Farmhand is concluded, but that is still some time away. So I'm enjoying this while I have it. So we get Son of Kal-El issue 12, and even though I read this 2 days ago, I mostly can't remember what happens. We do get Crypto here on the cover. He does show up within the issue itself, meaning the cover is not a lie. But we get some Dick Grayson and Lex Luthor pages, which are interesting, and I don't know if this is a subtle crossover with Nightwing or what's going on there, but it's, I don't know, it's a little bit weird. But the fact that I can't honestly remember really what happens in this should maybe be a sign that I should drop it. It's if it's not retaining itself in my memory. Yeah, maybe I'm talking myself into dropping this. I was interested initially, certainly into John, because John, as written by Tomasi, was a phenomenal character. And then Bendis got a hold of him and ruined things. But Taylor is otherwise a good writer. I think his best work is on other titles, but this is fine. And the involvement of Bendix, I thought, was another interesting thing in the mix, and it doesn't seem to be going really anywhere. It's the slowest development. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm talking myself into dropping this title. It is fine. Ultimately, it's fine. However, We Ride Titans is great. So this is the one that is basically a family drama set in a Pacific Rim-ish world. You've got some monsters being fought by a robot there in the foreground. There is, honestly, it's a good mix, this issue, of family drama and monster fighting, and it ends with a real surprise. I did not see that coming at all, but I am eagerly awaiting now issue 5. I don't remember how long the series is running. These things are usually 5 to 6 issues, so I guess we'll see how it ends pretty soon, but I am very much enjoying this book. Very much in the same vein, I am exceedingly enjoying Jurassic League. So this is issue 2, clearly, of 6 here. This is a DC universe of dinosaurs. So here you have a Batman. Honestly, I love this sequence right here. So Batman is being pestered by a human, and neither one of them can understand each other. So one is always being translated, and you get this entire sequence. So dinosaur popping out. This, I think, is the one instance this issue where a dinosaur is not anthropomorphic. So I think everyone else in this issue is sort of this anthropomorphized DC character, and this is, like I said, after the first issue, sort of the Pluto style dog versus whatever. So this is a regular dinosaur, and he's clearly not. But This guy's about to attack the human. Batman stops it, and then this little bit here, the whine, as he's like, oh, I love it. It's just little elements like that, and obviously all these words are what you're supposed to be focusing on them, but this whine, I love it. So everything else is still happening. You've got this guy who is roughly Superman, and you've got Bizarro, and you've got this awesome fight sequence. They are gathering up a bunch of humans. Superman is trying to rescue them. Super Sore, I should say, is trying to rescue the humans. He ultimately does not, but the story is incredibly entertaining. Oh, I'll show you this. It's a reverse slash. Oh my god, just, I mean, look at atrocities there. This book is ridiculous. So much fun. So much fun. And I was just reading about an hour ago the solicitations for September, I think, came out. So issue 5 of Jurassic League. And I figured out who the bad guy is and what form of dinosaur. And I could not be happier. It's going to be so much fun. I really, really very much need toys based on these figures, based on these character designs. They are, oh my god, I just love it. I love it so much. Down here we have Wonder Dawn. Oh, so much fun. So very much fun. I love it. Recommend it. Probably I'll get the trade of this whenever this comes out, because it is a hell of a lot of fun. But that is everything that I got this week. That's not really true. I did get some things in the mail that were lost 2 weeks ago. So I do have some more Saturday videos that are coming up. Unquestionably, Do a Powerbomb is my pick of the week. It is so much fun. And there is, I forgot to mention this earlier, so I'm going to do it now. There is this bit at the back. Actually, I'll point this out too. So Daniel Warren Johnson has a store, which I didn't realize until I saw this, and it sent me down a rabbit hole of checking out his store and then his YouTube channel. He does videos on Fridays. You can also buy his art, and this is what I was trying to show. So he's got this whole thing here about how this book came about, how he wasn't watching wrestling until about 2018, and he started because his daughter, newborn daughter, wasn't sleeping. So he is a fairly new convert to wrestling, but already he's got this book out, and it is amazing. Highly recommended. So as I said, that is everything that I picked up this week, and I get my books from a local comic shop. If you don't know where yours is, you can use this URL to find the one closest to you. Thanks for watching.